Well, we all know the story of Adam and Eve and how they disobeyed God and they ate of the fruit that they weren't supposed to, and that left us in kind of a mess. We inherited what is referred to as the original sin or original sin, and that gives us the propensity to continue to sin. So the impact of what Adam and Eve did on that particular day, has had an impact on each and every person that has walked on the face of this planet since. But it could have turned out a lot differently. I can't help but think about that as they walked by that tree, and the serpent was there waiting for them, of course. And it says Eve walked by and she saw that the fruit was good to look at and looked like it might be good to eat. And then the serpent, of course, he said, well, it's also good to obtain knowledge. You can become like God. And so we know how the story developed. But like I say, I think it could have turned out a lot differently if Adam had stepped up and done what he was supposed to do in that particular moment. They had to have been together when they came up to the tree, and Adam had to be watching Eve to develop this conversation with the snake. And that would have been the moment for him to say, hey, look, I don't think we need to be visiting with this guy. I think we need to move on. We could go over there and look at the peach trees or whatever. There's plenty of fruit in the garden. We don't need this fruit. And then when she took it, I think that would have been the moment. Now, look, this. We don't need to be doing this. Let's not do this. And so I think that he could have intervened in that particular moment, and he didn't, evidently. And so he is just as guilty as Eve, and if not more so, for not taking his place as the man in the family, so to speak. But I've seen that happen today, and it concerns me within the church. When I keep hearing this phrase, when people see somebody doing something that isn't beneficial to them or isn't biblical, something that might take them down a wrong road, and they'll kind of turn a blind eye to that and say, oh, I can't judge. Well, I kind of call that, false humility. I mean, that's not, and besides that, that's not judging. To judge someone, you're going to impose a penalty. That's the kind of judgment that we're not supposed to carry out on each other. And so, to judge something, you in this particular case, you observe behavior, observe something taking place that isn't beneficial to this individual, and in reality, if you care for that person, what you're going to do is expose them to the principles and the statutes in this word. And you're going to pull them back up on the road. And that's not judging, that's not imposing a penalty. What that is that's helping each other out. And so I've seen that tendency especially over the last decade, I can't judge. Or in other words, I can't call anybody to account, And so, I don't look at it that way. When I teach classes, I tell my students, I say, well, look, if you see something in my life that isn't in accordance with God's holy word, then I want you to call me to account. Please tell me, because sometimes, other people that are viewing you or watching you, sometimes they can see things that you might not see in yourself. And so that's called helping each other out. We want to help each other, stay on that narrow path as described by the word, so we can get to the end of this journey.